start with the cylinder. Here's a cylinder. If this is too small, you can hit Alt and make it a little bigger, and hit T to open the A manipulator for the cylinder. You can also adjust the radius and height. Think about the contour, outline of your new curve mode. You want to make this kind of mode, or you want to make this kind of mode? Something like this, right? And the subdivision axis. So we have to go to around 8 or 10. That'll be more than 20 subdivisions, way too many, to create this kind of simple curve. For this kind of simple object, simple items, we don't need actually 20 subdivisions. You probably need 20 subdivision, or even higher than higher than 20 subdivision for some complicated 3D model later on, but not for this. No. So we can start with 8. All right, or 10, acceptable. 10 would be fine too. 10 or 8. I prefer actually 8 here. And the subdivision height. What about here? The default subdivision height is 1. Do you think we need more? 2, 3, 4? If you have 4, you can later on you can attach this handle on here, like for instance, 1 here and 1 here. 1 here and 1 here. Yeah, I think that's possible. That's a good idea. So you can add the 1 here, top and bottom. Our handle will be placed something like that. Can you imagine? So we placed something like that. All right, so I have a subdivision axis 8 and the subdivision height 4. And what about here? Subdivision caps. So currently 1. Again, in order to create this kind of nice rim, the top of the curve, top of this merge. Do you see this rim here? You need to add more than 1 subdivision caps. So what about here? This will be hole, right? And this part, okay, this part will be rim, this rim. All right. So how to change the thickness of this rim? Well, very simple. I'm gonna go to edge mode and double click and select all edges and all scale. And guess, do you think this is about right in terms of the depth, thickness of this curve? I think so. Maybe make it a little thinner. This is probably too thick, right? Too thick, and then probably this is too thin. About it. And then once it's done, what about here? So I'm gonna select this and hit all, something like this. All right, good, beautiful. So can anyone tell us how to make this hole? Can anyone tell me how to make this hole on this merge? Can you guess? All right, so you may think of just getting rid of those unnecessary polygons in order to make this hole. So for instance, you go to face mode, right? And select this face and select all these faces. Actually, you can use this brush tool. Just brush around, those triangles, those ugly triangles. I'm gonna get rid of this, and we got a hole. But what about this? Okay, what if I do like this? This is brush, select this, extrude, Command E, and bring this down like this. Yeah. So unfortunately, we can't see inside of this merge unless you flip this over. In that case, you can hit it for wireframe view only. So now we can clearly see So where we are with this, right? The triangle, or you can use this one. This is called. This is also very useful. You know, X-ray. X-ray. If you click this, you can see through. See, look at this. So I can drag down. What do you think this? It's taking up. I mean, in between here. Oh, it's too thin, right? It's too thick. Something like this. And then I'm gonna uncheck this X-ray. All right, looks like we're almost done. So look at this. I'm gonna go to my object mode and hit 3. Yeah, this doesn't look like enough. Yeah, actually this looks awful. So that means we should do something more on this. But what about this? We already got hold of this one. All right. Okay. You know, this one actually doesn't have any thickness, any depth like this. So this one doesn't have a faces inner actually inside of the faces. I'm talking about right here. See, this doesn't. Okay. Basically, we need to create 2 layers, right? 2 layers, one for the outside, one for inside. You know, like the inner faces and the outer faces. But this guy doesn't have. Yeah, not a big deal. You can go to Edge. I'm pretty sure some of you guys thought about this method. I'm pretty positive. Yeah. So use the extrude, and then you bring this down like this. And the X-ray, so that you can see through. Oh, too much. Go up a little bit, right? And then I'll check this X-ray. We still have hole there. Yeah, no problem. Go to mesh and the fill hole, so that we no longer have hole there. So same thing here. If I hit 3, look at this. Look at the rim here. Compare this one. So we need to achieve this kind of flat surface on the top. I mean the rim of this curve. But this doesn't have. What about this? This doesn't have. So next step is we like to create. Let's get rid of this. Let's like to create handle. What kind of handle? Like this kind of, yeah, very plain, nothing special handle. For this, what I like to do, I like to use pipe, create, and polygon primitives. And where's pipe writing? All right, do you think this is right axis? No. So when you create this kind of pipe, any kind of polygon primitive, create, you can just, of course, you can click one of this, double click, and then you should decide you need the x-axis or y-axis and z-axis. So okay, so we can find the pipe and icon on our shelf here. So I'm gonna go to create and polygon primitive and I'm gonna choose a pipe. So click this empty box rather than selecting this one. And then also this one has x, y, z axis. So which axis is the right one? Definitely not y. What about this? Is it correct? Yes, correct. X-axis. Now close this. And then I'm gonna go to my side view. Perfect. And hit T. Okay, this is another manipulator in a panel for this guy type. And then you have to play with you need this too big, right? And from too small, and guess, yeah. And the heights. Yeah. And what about thickness? You need this thing, yeah, too thick. And subdivision axis. Wow, there's 20. As usual, I'm gonna use the lower number of subdivisions. And the reason why we always concerned about the number of subdivision is ultimately a higher number of subdivisions will dramatically increase the total number of faces, total polygon of your object. Sometimes you accidentally just hit several buttons and the tools, and you've got the over millions of polygon on your object. That's very bad. Even if you have a very powerful computer, rendering might take incredibly long time. The higher number of faces and polygons on your object, the longer, time, the longer rendering time it will take. So like, yeah, definitely you can use 20. Why not? You can use 40. You can use 50 and 60. Yeah, you can use more number of. Let's go even higher than this. 30. Now you can get the pretty smooth edges like this compared to 12. So pretty choppy, angular. But don't worry, because when you need 3, you can always hit 3. You don't need 3, you don't have to hit 3, but if you feel like you need 3, you can always hit 3, and then you get kind of perfect smooth edges. So yeah, what I'm trying to say, you don't need 20 subdivision, you don't need those 12 subdivision axes for this kind of handle. Mug handles will be more than enough, more than enough. Subdivision height 1 and subdivision caps I just left as 0. So now, if you go to perspective view, and you should see your mug as well as the handle. That's definitely, it's inside here, right? Now, it's big enough. Oh, it's pretty thick. Yeah, now we can fix it. What height? This is better, right? Than this. But this you can adjust the thickness and height and the radius, whatever you want. See, and then okay. All right. So another tip. I think I already explained about this. This is called the wireframe unshaded. Right now, if you select this handle, if select this mode, you can see wireframe on those object. But once you deselect, once you deselect both of them, you don't see wireframe. You can guess, you can imagine there are wireframe. But if you still like to see those wireframe, you may activate this one. So not this one, yeah. Wireframe unshaded. Now we can clearly see. So now select this and move it to the right. Open face mode. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of this. So we need only half of this circle for this handle. We don't need a full, circle. So place like this. Let me select both and hit 3. Do you think this is okay? This looks fine. If you turned in, you are about creating 3 items, 3 everyday items for your very first class assignment. And if you turn in your object something like this, that means you know nothing about modeling. This is bad. Why bad? Say, look at this. The areas where these 2 actually separate pieces, body and handle meet. Look at this. I can promise there is no such merge out there. Completely wrong. So you should achieve something like this right here. Look at this. You should achieve something like that. There is a huge actual difference in terms of believability in between this and this. Huge difference. You should make your object something somehow, more or less, believable. Believable. This is not it. So let me select the bolt again. I'm gonna one again. Sometimes you push back. What about this one? Is this okay? Not okay. No, no way. Not okay. So you have to carefully place something like this. Or let's say I'm going to show you how to nicely attach the small piece part of this mode onto the body of your main card here. Go to topping. Okay, again, I'm gonna select this one, wireframe unshaded, so that we can see this. First of all, I don't like to meet this handle, meet the corner, the angular corner. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna select this body, merge, and slightly rotate it. All right, rotate it. Okay, now this means, let's go. You see, now this handle means this face, not the edges, face. That's better. And then, okay, we see if you push this handle into, okay, the body of this mug a little more, you can definitely see this. These are supposed to be technical error. So also, let me highlight both and duplicate this. Okay, we're gonna try the one we already learned, union, Boolean union, and then combine. Let's try both. Okay, I'm gonna select this merge and hold down Shift and then select the second object, which is handle, and then go to mesh Boolean. So we need this one union add, right? Now definitely not in the difference intersection union. Okay, so now this one, select this, and then handle. And this time I'm going to use the combine. Do you see the difference between? Okay, let me hit 3 again. Do you see any difference? Anyway, we still have say redundant, redundant face. See, it just looks so ugly here. So anyway, both have unnecessary polygon inside of this merge. This one also has unnecessary polygon. So we should get rid of those. We should get rid of this. How to get rid of this? Go back to normal mode. All right, how to get rid of this? Face. Select this. Do you think you can delete this? Do you think we can delete this? Delete this? Delete this? Yes. Although we have hole there. The edges. What about the hole there? So this is okay, but we use a Boolean union. But what about this? We combine these two separate objects by clicking this combine in a tool. Also, I'm going to do the same thing, face mode. Okay. Do you think we can delete this? Delete this, delete this, delete this. But the issue is, you understand what happened? We got kind of disastrous in the result here. So let's go and undo again. The thing is, what happened? Do you understand what happened? And again, select this face. You see, it's selected not only the face inside the inner, inside of this merge, but also the face outside. See, they're all still connected. Once you selected this face and hit the delete key, you get outside as well. And that's different. So if you like to get rid of only the part of inside of there, use the select both and use the union instead of combine. Do this. Okay. Or another good tip is, if you don't want to go deal with mesh, union or combine things, just select your handle and carefully place. So not like this, carefully place like this, and you're done. So only the use the booleans or combine whatever you prefer. Only when you see some redundant, redundant faces. Otherwise, just carefully place. Again, this is not good. Again, this is bad. So now we have to achieve this. It's a nice connection between two separate objects. So here, mesh Boolean union. Let me do it again. A little better. Union, Boolean union. And go here and add U. Again, so most of you guys have noticed that this one is not, these are not four-sided faces. But I noticed that the kind of lower number of poly models nowadays kind of popular among the game developers. I'm not too familiar with the game, the Unreal kind of things, but you guys probably know those game, better than I do. I noticed that many modeling artists, the game, designers, developers, whatever, animators, use triangle all the time. Some actually animators prefer triangle. Interesting, but I don't anyway. See, this is not, four-sided. This is how to fix this one. So we can use the multi-cut. Yeah, very simple. Make a four-sided here. So four-sided and four-sided. And where is the four-sided? So four-sided. So now hit the 3 and you get this kind of nice. And what about the rim here, top? Yeah, ugly, definitely awful compared to, this one. One here. Okay, you know what I'm looking for? Insert attribute to another one, add one here, add another one here, probably on one here, on bottom, on here. So hit 3 now. Looks like I added some. Oh yeah, this is my mistake. I think I added. Okay, so now undo. Oh, right there. Okay, now it's right here, right here, right here. Okay, yeah, pretty thick, like a Starbucks. Do you think this is too thick? Yeah, or edge. Double click this and all. Yeah, you can adjust that. You can adjust that. Just something like this. Yeah, make it believable, more. And make it believable. So if you flip this over, you should see kind of flat, bottom here. Again, there's another such mode out there. You can find it, this kind of curve, Walmart, Kmart, or, Target, whatever. What we have missed. So, let's see, like this. And X-ray and E. Oops, looks like I selected both sides. No. But only this. X-ray. Command E. All right. You understand what I did? You see? Once you hit 3. So in general, the middle part of merge, any kind of edge curve, doesn't touch in the ground. Only the the edges of the bottom of the merge touch the ground. So so this kind of small things, basically I spent like less than 1 minute, and I think it's a small detail radically actually changes in terms of quality of your 3D models. What about this? You see? Well, if you look at the handle, it looks pretty plain. Again, what if you like to add a little kind of subtly, different kinds of style on this handle, for instance. So let's say I'm gonna select these edges just a little bit. You see that? And also, what if I drag something like this? You know what I'm doing here? Something like this. Yeah. You may exaggerate this, something like this. And then what if we add more inner segments around here? You can use the insert edge loop tool. So one here. I don't know, you want to something like this. Like difference. I think red enough. Something like this. Also, what about this? You've probably seen this kind of main tools. Again, extrude and bevel. Yes. We can start with in a cube. Subdivision width. So as you can see, in this face, and this face are unusually huge. We rather add some subdivision. I think that'll be enough. And then if like add some nice kind of rounded corners. So go to edge and select this one edges and another edges and the bevel. So now fraction, or just a fraction, and add some segments. So now we get some nice corner. You can do the same thing for the other side. Select one edges and then two edges and bevel. And add segments. And then go to side view. If you hit W, you can clearly see where the PB point of this shell is right here. PB point is right here. And we like to duplicate this a couple times more and place the top of each grid, one here and one here, one here, one here. Probably one more here, something like that. We're not going to do manually something like that. Again, it's not going to be perfect. Or at the same time, we like to provide the equal amount of space in between the shell, So don't do manually. Snap to grid. Do you remember? I think I already explained this. This is snap to grid and this is snap to point. So we need to select this snap to grid first. You can actually click the X key and hold down X key because it jumps. See, it snaps to grid only. This grid, another grid like this. So click here and then duplicate X. You see, Command D, duplicate. Click, hold down X key. Command D, duplicate X. See? Perfect now. See? Perfect. We provided equal amount of space on this. And then what if you like to create this kind of pole? And before, okay, creating hole, you can create pole. Yeah, you can cylinder. Manipulator. Again, this one is so many subdivisions. I'm gonna use only 8 as a height. About 6 and the height. Whatever it is. Oh, no cap. That's long enough. And then let's go to top view. Now we can clearly see the top view of those shelves as well as this pole. I'm gonna grab this one. And then also I'm gonna activate this. What is this? Wireframe unshaded. And then now I'm gonna duplicate this. See, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. So each pole will be placed at the corner of this shelf. One here, another one here, another one here, one here. So again, I'm gonna grab this one, and then where? Do you understand where I'm going to place this? Right here. You need to hold down V, snap to point. This is snap to grid. This is snap to point. Snap to point, and you see, snap to B. Hold down Victor. See, it's snap to all in a point. So these are grid, and these are point. So I'm talking about this. Vertices. So they're all vertices. It jumps to. So like this. Oops. You have to select out. It looks like I accidentally select this. Okay, this V. You see? Just like this. Perfect position. Like this. V. Perfect position. V. Perfect. V like this. Let's see what we got. I'm gonna select all 4 folds and push down. So main tools are this: extrude, insert, edge, tool, and bevel. And for the spoon, we're gonna use other tools. And while also and trees, while creating the trees and lighthouse, yeah, we'll definitely need some brand new tools, the tools that we never touch it. And for the trees and the wires and lighthouse. Let's do this USB jump drive. Go to file and see. And then we can start. We can start with the box, cube. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. By the way, but, it's 220. I think I can make it. Yeah, 220. Yeah. All right, start with the box. Slightly adjust this. So what kind of USB jump drive we're gonna make it? There are a bunch of different types of USB jump drive. Well, it looks very typical. Yeah, nothing really special. We're gonna make there. So start with this. Okay. Okay, let's create the front part here. With this. I'm gonna use my connect tool. Of course, you can use the multi-color. You can use the insert edge loop tool if you want to. But I'm going to use my connect tool. How many subdivisions? Segments. Let's have 2. And then I'm going to use a pinch. And then I'm going to slide it. Do you understand why we need 2 there? Why not 3? I just made it here 2. See, here's 1. Here's another one. That makes sense? 1 here, 1 here. See, here. As you see. And then vertex mode. And then I'm going to select this vertex and this vertex. Oh, this vertex, this 2, 4, all 4. I said 1, 2, 3, 4. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to give little tapers on the front part. So I just selected the 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices and hit Alt. So do you know what I'm doing here? So, see, you can do that. See, something like this. Little narrow. A little too wide, so I can slightly adjust this. So something like this. And then you can select the face, extrude. Oops. Looks like I selected. Maybe a little bit. And then extrude. I use the extrude. And then I'll extrude again, and I'll. Okay, do you see what I'm doing here? So let's go here. Okay. See, I'm making hole. I'm making groove. Groove for what? Here. I'm making right here. All right. So, all right, extrude again, Command E. Something like this. All right, after this, done. And then I'm going to make some in a hole. What kind of hole? Well, any kind of hole. Yeah, okay, so to make a hole, so I select these edges and these edges. And here's a connect tool. Well, obviously, Maya remembers the last action that I made with the segment 2. I'm going to add more segments there. And what if I go to 4.5 so that I can put all those segments at the center? And what if something like this? All right, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can see on the segments. Of course, the tool that I used was connect tool. And before adding these 1, 2, 3, 4 in the segments, I chose top edge and bottom edge. So those new segments will be created in between these 2 segments. This is important, okay? In between 2 segments, 2 edges. And then what we can do, you can select the face mode. I select this face, and I select this face, and then extrude, Command E, and drag up. Why select more than this? I need only 1 here. Okay, E, and then push like this. And then you'll find the extrude in the manipulator. As soon as you apply the extrude, I always open this manipulator for your convenience. Now we can add some subdivision here. Do you know why we need to do subdivision? You should see 1, 2, 3, 4 subdivision. Probably 3 will be enough. 4, 5, whatever. The reason why is because we may want to bridge, connect in between this. So we can use the bridge there. So now we got hole here, and then also I like to add division. Just 4. Again, here's 4. Now it's kind of a big hole, but anyway. So also we kind of add a nice corner, rounded corners. As I show you how to make a nice corner on our previous lessons, bookshelf, shelf, you just go to edge and select this edge. And then hold on, another edges and a bevel. So just a fraction level and add segments. You can do the same thing for inside here. Select both corner and bevel. See? And adjust the fraction and add segments there. See? All right, now let's go back to front, the face. Okay. This is a kind of perfect place, and I can see just the front, And then extrude, scale, all like this. And then go back to perspective view. This is kind of my style. I constantly moving, the viewpoint from the top view, from side view, front view, and perspective view. So, and then extrude again, push back here. All right. And create. So what we're doing is now we're gonna create a metal part here. Box again. Now we can see wireframe. So definitely I want you to activate this one. So now we can clearly see wireframe while adjusting this. Perfect. So okay, what if you like this kind of a typical in a groove? I think almost all in a USB jump drive has this. This is a very important actually characteristic of any types of a USB in a jump drive. If you like to add this one, well, so basically what we're doing, yeah, I think people understand, oh, this might be USB in a jump drive, but to improve, we still like to improve the in terms of believability on our models. So again, I guess these two are quite important characteristics of any card, our USB jump drive made by Samsung, Dell, or Hewlett Packard, whatever, Toshiba. See what we like to do. Maybe you could use the connect tool and the middle mouse segments and middle mouse button to here to pinch and the slide. Would that be enough? So what if we add the more there? Center. More. I think that's too many. think that'll be enough. All right, let's say I'm gonna make this group. The place somewhere here. Okay. Now go to edge mode. Select these edges and push back a little bit so that we can make this groove somewhere here. What about this? Also, we can move that back a little bit. And then I'm gonna go to face mode. See, extrude. What if we push down a little bit? Before this, I'm gonna hit all rows. The reason why we need to add this is I like to create kind of a nice, not too sharp, the edges on the top of this in a groove, and then do again Command E, go like this, extrude, Command E again. All right. Maybe you can select it both faces and then go to symmetry, activate symmetry, and do it. But that could be an option, making two grooves simultaneously. But I don't actually use the symmetry options when I create it, dealing with only two and some relatively simple, the groups, creating a relatively simple groups. I just created one group, and then what I did, and go to top view. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, two. Okay, these object has been placed at the center, which is the origin, the place origin. So what I like to do. Okay, this is a very important lesson. Hey guys, pay attention. I didn't create two groups. I'm talking about this one. I created just one. Okay. Maybe you can repeat the same things over and over to create two groups or three groups, or more groups. But what I do, this is kind of the way you can save and a lot of time while creating this kind of objects. I just created one group there, and go to top view. Okay, and multi-cut. What I like to do, I'm going to cut in half of this, this device, a USB jump drive, by using this multi-cut. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut from here to here. All right, click once and hold down Shift key. Do you see that Shift key? Okay, I didn't select that. Hold on, multi-cut. Okay, for this, I think I combine this. Okay, combine. So that no, this is one object. Multi-cut. See what I'm doing? Hold down Shift key so they can draw straight line perfectly. Not like this. Perfectly straight line. If you do not press and hold down Shift key, what happens is, say you might draw this kind of the diagonal line. Click, hold down Shift, and draw straight line. All right. And then what we can do, so we are already in face mode. So here is the groove hollow that I created. And I like to select the half of this and delete it. Let's quickly go to perspective view. You see what I did? I just got rid of the half of this USB jump drive. And then top view, here's perspective. Yeah, I can work in the top view. So object. And then, oh, there's meter tool, meter. You can meter this one. You can meter. Rather than duplicating, we understand how to duplicate this one. You want to do like this, and you want to rotate something like this. It's not going to be perfect. So don't do this way. Select this one, and then meter. This is meter geometry across an axis. You can find the meters. I think what is that meter right here. Yeah, here's a meter. It's the same thing. This one or this one. All right. I'm gonna double click this meter. All right, don't worry about those options. You can actually ignore those options. So what I do, I just the meter first. Just click OK, and then you can slightly adjust the option of the meter in this manipulator, like a cut geometry, axis position. See, we have different axis positions, such as bounding box and object and wall. These are all kind of default one. What about offset? See, yeah, sometimes you might adjust this one, but usually no, we don't do this. So both are metered, exactly the same. And other than that, I don't think so. Yeah. See, let's go to our perspective now. You see that? Look at this. I created only one groove, one hollow right here, right? I didn't create this one. I just metered. See? So now it's both sides, left and right, are exactly, same. All right, next, let's create some anti-slip grips, where typically, okay, USB term has left and right and both, where you grab with your index and thumb. See, it's like so. What I like to do, hold on. Oh, I like to edge mode. Let's select this edge. Let's select edge, and go to connect to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments. Not enough. Let's go many. 13, probably more. 20, like 22. And I'm going to pinch something like this. Anti-slip grip. That's what I'm making right now. All right, now, see right here. And you just grab the one anti-slip, the grooves, only one side, left, either left hand side or right hand side, and then you go to the top view and get rid of half of this USB jump drive and the meter again. Or okay, so since I already showed you guys how to use a meter tool, I'm not going to do this. Just go here, select this both edges, and connect. See how smart my members. See, we added an edge 22 segment, exactly the same number of segments that I added on the left hand side, and then so now, yeah. See, I'm going to select, go to face mode, select every other face. Every other face means every other face. Every other face. Let's probably select 10, and this one too. And then I'm going to select the, keep holding down Shift key, every other faces, yeah. And then Command E, extrude tool. See, I think this is enough lessons for this kind. You can create any by using this techniques, by using those tools that I show you guys. You can create basically any types of devices that you like to create for your animation. So what about the preview mode? If like okay, if you're kind of curious, so what if I hit 3? Say don't hit 3 then. Don't hit 3. For this kind of device, don't hit. If you create some organic shape like trees and some stones and rocks or some house or some fruit in a vegetable, yeah, you might want to hit 3 and before submitting your object. But what if you created this kind of factory made devices? Yeah, don't hit 3. So once you hit 3, you completely ruin your object. See? But still like to add some nice, bevel around this device. Do this, use this one, bevel instead. Say, no. Bevel. A lot better, right? So I had a little problems. That means you need to add more segments. See, you understand that? See, add more segments. See, bevel. Let's see. You see, I added one bevel. Maybe we can add more. What about now? See? Yeah, now we don't see. I think that because the number of segments that I added And earlier was just one. You can add 2 or 3 in order to achieve this kind of nice hard edges. See, nice hard edges. So this was the original. Let's compare this one. Don't hit 3 for this. Yeah, don't hit 3. This is original. I'm going to duplicate this. And for this, I'm going to use bevel. Here is, I'm going to bring this up. Bevel, poly bevel, fraction. I don't know. 1 segment. Yeah, about 3. All right, this one, if you take a closer look at the edges, this object. So the corner is very, very sharp. Yeah, very, very sharp. See, very, very sharp. On the other hand, this one, do you see? This one has a nice, see, nice corners, nice edges. Even look at the anti-slip in green. See, nice bevels all around it.